Hello everyone. We are back in Dubai studio once again, and I have a very special guest with me today. She's a coach guru, I must say, and she's also a bestseller book on Amazon called Delete How to Erase Your Negative Thoughts Fast. Welcome, Coach Lio. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, Tosif. It's a pleasure and an honor. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
No, it's my pleasure. I know you're very busy, so make your time. And you came to the studio. It's a big deal for me. So, welcome back, everyone, to my audience as well, and to Random and Famous. First question: can you introduce yourself to the community, the people who don't know about you, what you do?
Sure. So, the doing part, I'm a professional coach. I have my own practice called Heal Coaching. I do a number of things there. Work with founders, entrepreneurs. I work with small to mid-sized businesses to help them create team cohesion, connection. I am a inspirational speaker as well. I have one topic that I'll mention later. I talk about. So that's the one side of my activity. The other side, my heart is incredibly calling me to support the professional coaching community worldwide. And with that, I co-founded with my colleague Alex, who is a master coach. I co-founded a global community for coaching mastery. This is my latest venture. And that is on the doing side. Now, I will add something else on the being side. If you ask me, Leo, who are you? Without all of this, the doing, I would say I'm simply a curious soul who helps people see miracles in their lives. And
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it's a very nice introduction, actually. So I was looking at your profile, and your journey is amazing. It's nothing short of incredible, spanning from sales, events manager, airline industry, to your current roles as a founder of Heal Coaching. So these are very diverse traits. So can you walk us through your journey, how it all began, and shift towards coaching and helping others?
Yeah. They are different industries, but the silver lining is people. I love people. And the thing that I don't love for people is when, number one, they struggle emotionally. And number two, they don't realize their full potential. And I know that sounds very generic, but I do believe that we're all here with a purpose and with a bag of potential, which is, by the way, is limitless. And probably throughout my entire professional life, in any different career, I worked with people and I looked for ways to empower them to do more in any area that I was. So the dream started with me being about 5 years old in my parents' house, looking from the living room window outside. We had some trees and being very sad. I remember that. And the sadness was that I won't be able to travel and meet the world. I don't know. I had that very sad feeling. The place where I was born, the circumstances I was, the reality was that my ability to travel and meet people and support people was very limited.
And in such a young age,
Yeah.
you had this feeling?
That was one of the very strong memories I have, I recall. And being very sad and thinking, oh my God, there's all these places I'm not going to see. There's all these people I'm not going to meet. Now, the universe heard me. I do believe that. And, my life took a completely different turn. I've traveled extensively around the world. And looking back now, what I realized, I would always look to meet people, to understand people, to support people, and to empower people in very different ways. And coaching came naturally in that way.
And Dubai is the right place to meet the whole world, I think. And you are here around 17 years, right?
Correct.
Amazing. Great. So as a co-founder of Coach, which is a global community for coaching mastery, what do you believe are the key elements that define a masterful coach, and how does your community foster these qualities in its members?
Yeah. So there's 3 qualities in a professional coach. Some people might disagree. I respect that. But the number one thing is doing the self-work. It is extremely important to develop self-awareness in order for you to be of service. So number 1, self-awareness for service. Number 2, professional qualifications matter. Our profession is a very new profession and it's a blessing. And I do encourage everyone to go into it. And even if you took 1-day coaching course, it's fantastic. Keep going. But that is not the level of professional coach that spend hundreds and thousands of hours perfecting their craft. So number 2, I would say qualifications and experience really, really matters. And number 3, I would say definitely a combination between grand vision for you and for yourself as a coach, as a human being. That's number 1. With a selfless empathy and detached compassion. So a coach who's interested in their client is not a good coach. What do I mean by that? I have to be compassionately detached in order to serve you and your agenda and your journey, and not be interested in any shape or form to try and to guide you into a direction that is interesting for me. So I guess those are the 3 attributes.
What it means is, anyone can be a coach, or you need that certain traits what you just mentioned. You have to be good with people, you have good people skills, you should be empathize towards them, and not everyone has this thing. Some people learn on their way, right? The empathy comes as you get experience. Some people have this natural in them. So if you have all these things and you are people's person, you are a HR manager, or you are learning and development professional, but plus you have to take the coaching class or a course, right? And then if you combine all these ingredients, you can be a good coach.
I believe anyone can be a coach.
Anyone.
You are a human, so anybody technically can be a surgeon. We have hands. What's required? Hands. Hands, brain, eyes. As a human being, you have all of those sets of skills already. Empathy, compassion, all of those things can be developed. And that is the power that anyone holds. Now, being a professional coach does require a rigorous journey of self-awareness, of training, of experience, of constant mastering of the craft. So anybody can be a coach, not anybody becomes a professional coach.
Yes, great point. Yeah, I was looking at your profile, and your mission is to create a world where everyone leads from the heart, underscoring the significance of self-love. And you talk about a lot about self-love in personal and professional success, right? Can you share a personal story or insight that ignited this mission within you, particularly focusing on the role of self-love, and how do you envision this vision evolving in the future?
Yeah, self-love, it probably is the theme of my life, and everything that I do is touched by self-love. And a turning point is actually the first line in my book, where I share this crisis moment where I spent about 6 months on and off on my kitchen floor. So there's this corner between the cooker and the cabinet, and there's a corner there, and I'd find myself for about 6 months every other day on the floor crying. And I was crying because I've spent half of my life trying to be everything for everybody, but I had no idea, no clue, terrified, because I did not know what I was about. I did not know my values, my purpose, what I was all about. And I was very reluctant to even pronounce the word self-love, because I had a very, very harsh judgment to this term, right? I would say this is selfish. It's not right. I can't do this. I have to be serving, and I have to be serving, and I have to be serving. Not until that span of 6 months did I let go of judging the term self-love. I said, okay, what is this about? Because I can't continue to be miserable like that, that I embraced it. And what I realized through the journey is that loving yourself, it's actually selfish not to love yourself.
Okay.
It is. Why? Because if you don't love yourself, the people around you, the people you work with, you lead, you touch, have this version of you. When you do love yourself, you cannot not be empathetic, loving, compassionate, giving, caring about others. So
True. Yeah.
That shifted everything.
Yes, very true. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your book, Delete, published in November 2019,
Yeah.
Amazon bestseller. So
Mhm.
congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big thing, I think. I always dream one day I write a book. Maybe I will.
I'm sure you can.
Yes, we'll see. So what's the common thread you have noticed among high achievers in their battle with self-doubt? And what's your top strategy for combating this? Because you have discussed this in your book, Inner Critic.
Yeah. Look, it's very simple. When do we not trust? Generally, we don't trust something or someone we don't know. The enemy, we don't know them. The foreigner, we don't know them. Therefore, we don't trust them. So in order to develop trust, we need to know, right? Equally, when we talk about self-doubt, we doubt, we don't trust because we don't know. So the theme of Delete is stop listening to one side of you, which is the inner critic, and start, I don't say shut it off, I don't say delete it, although the name is Delete. I say understand it and start getting to know other stakeholders within you,
Yeah.
right? Which is the visioner, which is your heart, your desires, your passion, your purpose, your joyful side of you, your fun side of you, and all of other sides of you. So when you get to know the full picture of who you truly are, that's when you know yourself. And when you know yourself, you trust yourself. So that's a long answer to a short question. Basically, do the work to get to know yourself and do not listen to only this side, because the reason they doubt themselves, they've appointed the self-critic as the CEO.
Yeah.
And that is the
Yes.
only voice that they continuously listen to.
Yeah. So to know yourself and find out in deep is really is the key,
It is.
basically. Yeah. You know about yourself, and then you can help others.
And
Right?
it's not an original idea, Tausif. This is not something that I came up with. It's a different way of using words so that this penetrates the understanding and actually goes to your body, goes to your heart, and you shift, change something, and choose to do something differently, or choose to believe different set of thoughts that you have.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I think it's a great point. So my next point will be, with your extensive experience speaking on physical and digital stages. Okay, what's one discovery moment you have experienced as a speaker that reshaped your own perspective on personal power and self-love?
Yeah. I always give this example of one person, the one person. I always imagine that one person who needs to hear what you have to say. So speaking from digital stages, I'll share an example. So I'm on the different platforms, I'm experimenting, I'm always looking for ways to add value. And 3 years ago, TikTok came along and somebody said, hey, you should be on TikTok. I must say, okay, let me go and help my audience there. So here I am on TikTok, no audience, no people to help. And I would go live. I would literally put my phone on, go live, zero audience, and I'll just talk to the void.
Okay.
One day, second day, third day, fourth day. And then on the fifth day, I can see one person. So you can see actually on the screen when somebody's actually watching. Somebody will come in and quickly leave because there's this woman talking, nobody in the audience. But one day, that day came, and there's one person, and I can see they came in, and they stayed for the entire, it was about 35 minutes, I would talk, and they were there. And to me, whoever that person is, that shifted to me everything. That was the moment when I said, it is not up to me to judge what's going on for this person. There's this one person that I need to help, and they choose to spend their time there with me, and I'm going to help them. Now, what does self-love has to do with that? It was not about me.
Yeah.
It was about that other person. And how self-love helps with that? When you get out of your own head, stop listening to this, and actually listen to that who is in front of you, even if it's an anonymous person online, focus on them with love, that's what it's all about. I could have sat there and say, nobody likes me, nobody cares about what I have to say, I have nothing to say, this is not good enough, I have nothing even to say. I could have said that to myself,
Yeah.
and I could have, paused and dropped everything 2 days later. Why? Not because I don't believe in my mission, but because I'd be suffocated with my own criticism, self-criticism. So
Yeah.
when you love yourself, you're a fantastic servant.
Great. Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah. Okay. So we all face obstacles in our careers, right? Shifting from one career to another one and pushing ourselves. What were some of the biggest barriers or challenges you encountered and sacrifices being made during your journey?
So challenges is definitely the comfort zone. When we are becoming good at something, I call it the top of the mountain experience. So you're starting a career, you're getting good, better. So you're climbing a mountain, more or less. Now, climbing a mountain, you feel good about yourself. I'm an expert. I know what I'm doing. I have a network. I have a name. I have a reputation. You're getting comfortable. Starting something new, you have to climb down this mountain and start from the very bottom of the next one. So I'd say comfort zone, definitely. Number one. Number two, whatever you're starting new, you will be mediocre. And if you did not change the flavor of your mind from self-judgmental to accepting and encouraging, it's going to be very, very difficult and very hard. So the second challenge is to change the flavor of my mind and say it's okay to start nowhere. It's okay to be mediocre in the beginning. And it's okay to, to defy what people think your life should be. Yeah. So I guess, and the sacrifice, if there's one sacrifice, what I realized is I sacrificed before. The moment I say yes to my purpose and my passion, that's when I stopped sacrificing.
Okay, yeah, correct. Okay, then I ask these questions to everyone, whoever comes to this platform. Reflecting on your journey, is there any one specific step that you have taken in your life which just completely changed everything? And looking back, you can say, I'm glad that I took that step.
Yeah. And I'll bring back what I just said earlier. The moment where I shifted perspective on self-love, when I realized that I'm being extremely selfish for feeling sorry for myself, for being so super critical of myself, I was not serving anyone. The way I would treat myself, being super demanding towards myself, critical, pushing myself, guess what? I was doing that to the people around me in the exact same way, with the exact same intensity, even though it probably seemed on the outside to me that was not the case, but I was being that to other people. Yeah. So that realization, that pain,
that was the turning point.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, great. And it's interesting. So as we wrap up here, is there any piece of advice you want to give to the wider community?
Yeah.
Maybe they want to follow your footsteps, or they have another ideas and they're always reluctant to take that step because of obvious reasons. And when I started the journey of the podcast, I was reluctant because what the family will say, the friends will say. They say, oh, look what you're doing. Episode is not good. What message you give to the people?
Yeah. I would say, don't listen to me. Don't listen to experts. Don't listen to no one in the world. Put all your focus and attention in developing to listening to yourself. What is within you? What is your intuition telling you? What is your heart telling you? What is your child in you telling you? What is your visioner telling you? Develop the ability to connect internally. And with that, you become invincible because you are already whole and complete as you are at all times. See it.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Coach
Lio. One more thing before we go apart. You mentioned in the beginning you help like professional coaches, and I think you're running this event in Netherlands.
For sure.
I guess.
Yes.
Right? Can you just tell the community straight away?
If you are a professional coach and you are anywhere around Europe, we are inviting you and encouraging you to join our in-person event on May 18, 2024. It's a full day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. of trainings, connection, disconnecting from your day-to-day routine and connecting for coaching mastery and coaching success. So be sure to join us as a professional coach because the world needs you. We empower coaches so that you can go empower the world. So check us out on LinkedIn. You can just type Coach Global Community for Coaching Mastery and you will find the event, or just connect with me.
Thank you. And it's my pleasure that you came here and joined us this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the impact that you're creating.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And to my audience, we'll come back to you shortly with the next episode. Thank you and bye now.